Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'd like to share with you today a simple card layout that I've created using the Trucking Along stamp set, just the stamp set. It's part of the online exclusives. Earlier this morning, at least, it was still available. Online exclusives are available while supplies last. So I'm sharing this with you knowing that it may not be available when you go looking, but for those who already purchased it, I'm hoping it gives you some ideas. At the very end of my video, I will show you a lot of other products that you can get. You can find all of the products that are online exclusives as well as everything that's in our annual catalog and more by going to my website, justalittleink.stampin.net. If you order 150 or less, please consider using my current host code. That one through August 1st, but I have new host codes posted on my website, and I post them on my blog, justalittleink.com, every month. I also have other incentives that you can get by purchasing through me on a consistent basis, on a loyalty basis. And so check all of that out. All those details are on my blog. There's tabs along the top. But this Trucking Along stamp set has been so popular, and I wanted to share with you how fun it is. The punch that you can get as a bundle isn't available right now, so bundle options are not available. But the stamp set is just for Christmas card with this, and I didn't fit. Hold on. Been a little bit out of the loop with my videos. I moved to a brand new house about a month ago, and so trying to just get everything together has been a challenge. Anyone who has moved anytime recently will understand that. So what you're going to want, I have pulled together a half a sheet of Poppy Parade cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You'll need a piece for the inside of basic white, 4 inches by 5 1/4. You'll need about a 3 1/4 inch square that you'll cut a circle. This is the largest circle from our Stylish Shapes dies. I keep mine on magnetic plates or magnetic cards. So it's the largest one, and that's what we're going to stamp our truck on. You need another piece about 1 inch by 3.5 or thereabouts so that we can stamp the greeting. We're going to cut it out using the skinnier of the banners. And then I have a piece, and I didn't pull out the whole package. The designer series paper I'm using, and it's because I wanted some sort of a muted wood look. This is actually from the One Horse Open Sleigh 6x6 designer series paper pack that is not available right now. I think it's showing, the last I checked, sometime into October. So, I mean, it's out a ways. Hoping there's brand new papers that we're all going to love out of the next mini that comes out to customers starting in September. But as a demonstrator, you could get it in August, and so something to think about. And then a sliver, literally 1/8 of an inch piece by 5.5 that we're going to put on the front of garden green cardstock. So very simple supplies. So let's get started. I'm going to take my Pierce mat. I've cut one in half. This makes it easier for my videoing. And honestly, it just makes it easier on my counter or on my, on my stamp table. So I'm going to pull out Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This Trucking Along stamp set is a 2-step stamp. You don't have to use them that way, but that's what I'm going to show you here. Pull it out. Grab, and I'm going to put him, this truck guy, maybe a little further to the bottom. I'm not sure Stampin' Up! Realized how popular the red trucks are, and you obviously can make this guy in any color you want. we're making him in red. That's almost the only thing I'm going to do. Let me see, do I have? No. There we go. All times thinking of everything. For those of you who have been my subscribers all along, thank you so much for putting up with me, the fact that I have not been doing videos. It has just been more of a struggle than I ever thought to kind of transition, not only from Colorado, where I used to live, to Arizona, where I currently live, but then also, and I got to get it a little lower for my eyeballs here, but also just this transition into a brand new house, which I am so excited for my new space. But thank you for those who have been subscribing. I am so grateful for that. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would so appreciate it if you would do so. Also, if you would like and comment, that helps the algorithms and let more people see the videos that I'm doing. So I'm going to put this way. I put the little tree in the back. Hopefully you're seeing that here. And as I throw things away, then I told you this was a two-step. So I had grabbed most of the things I needed, but not quite everything. So I'm going to pull out Garden Green, because that's the color I'd like my tree. So there's one for the tree in the outline. And if you didn't want to two-step, you could color that in using blends, our watercolor pencils, all kinds of different options. Again, it's because I'd like to see this, and anytime you're trying to video and do it online or on someone else looking, it's always so much more fun, huh? Oh, not too bad. So I've got my tree in the back of the truck, and then I'm going to use Poppy Parade. Again, that's the color of our cardstock. So I'm going to open up my Poppy Parade. You'll notice the difference between my two stamp pads. This is an older style pad. The one I've just opened is a newer style pad. And I've got the overlay, is what I'm going to call it, of my truck. I'm going to ink it up. This is the quick way to stamp. If you aren't one to do coloring, then using the two-step option might really be the one you would prefer. And let's hope we've got this in the right spot. We will find out soon. Oh yes, beautiful. So I've got my red truck, and then I'm going to pull in some basic gray. And I've got a couple different stamps, but I've got one that looks like this, and this is for the wheels and the hubs on the truck. And so I'm going to line up, get them in here. Let's see how well we do. Not too bad. All right. And then there's one for the roadway. And so I'm going to just kind of put one toward the bottom, like so. Okay, so we've got our truck. We have our tree. And so then I'm going to pull in some of our Stampin' blends. And so I've got just smoky slate, just because I would like to make sure I've got a steering wheel. I'm going to color, that one got a little bit of red, but that works. And then I want to color in my my hubcaps. And so you could do them any color. You could use our Stampin' Right markers, but the Stampin' blends work really well. Kind of come right here, and then I'm going to pull in the dark. Our Stampin' blends, all of them come in a 2-pack, so they're in a combo. So I'm going to come in just to kind of help myself out with that overlap, just to show there's other ways to kind of make things work. Pull it in. So the truck is stamped. It's very fast. Don't need a lot of time. Then before I put that away, I'm going to stamp the greeting for the Christmas. And it's a wishing you a festive Christmas. And there's two different ways you could do that. I could pull out my tuxedo black. And I could come in and kind of tap along if you want to just use stamp pads. And then pull back in my Poppy Parade. And it's kind of the same thing, because I'm going to try to be careful. I could mask off with our masking paper or Post-it note. There's a lot of different options that are there that would work. Almost have it. And you can kind of, because this is a photopolymer stamp, I've got some options of what I can see. So we're going to attempt to make this option work. And then I'm going to show you another option if this isn't your thing. So, and stamp it like that. Then if that's not quite as clean as I would like, but let's show you the other option, just so you kind of know different ways. I'm going to pull out my Simply Chamois. I've cut it into fourths. My good friend Kathy Howe's, I'll link her info in her. She's a big inspiration for me. She's done this and keeps in a baggie, and I just think it's a great way to go. So my Stampin' Right markers are the other option. Use the brush tip, put it along the edge. Don't go toward the top. Drag it across so that I'm getting just the Wishing You A. Then I'm going to take my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to do the same thing coming across the bottom. This is an old technique to eliminate certain parts of the stamp. Breathe back onto it to re-moisten any ink. Stamp it. And see, I like that one almost better. But then I can decide which would I prefer. I think it's a toss-up. So we're going to turn it over, and then I'm going to run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Pull this in here. I should probably have had some tape, so we'll grab some tape. All right, so I've got my plates here. So my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, my cardstock. I'm going to put my die onto it. It's all about making sandwiches. And then I'm going to pull out some retired washi tape that I have. It's just, I find it's the easiest for me because I don't have it laying around. I'm going to line up my greeting into here, just so I can kind of hold it from moving around. Put my plates together. They're offset a little bit. They run through a whole lot easier. My little mini machine is one of the originals, and so my tolerances are probably a little different. Let's see how well we did. Actually, not too bad. I'm going to just set this aside and get it out of the way so we can assemble quickly. So, show you how fast this goes together. I, again, forgot my bone folder. There's all kinds of things I'm forgetting today. Back in the swing of things is a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to attach with my Stampin' Seal, trusty Stampin' Seal, a little bit. This is a 2-inch piece by 5.5. So you can get 3 of these with a sheet of the Designer Series paper, which is nice because you're giving up one of the 4 images that you'd have. Then a little skinny piece. I almost find it's easiest. I'm going to pull out my liquid glue, my multi-purpose liquid glue. You want to have a really light hand so you're not making goobers everywhere when you squeeze it. Mine's getting down to the bottom, which helps not have blowouts, but you just don't want to squeeze too hard, especially when they're newer. And I keep an old votive hand candle laying around. It helps me to keep it upside down. Comes out a lot easier. So I'm just going to space it out. I want a little bit of a reveal between the two, and I'll trim that later. So then I would put dimensionals on here normally, but since I don't want to leave my table again, to figure some other options out, I'm going to make it a nice flat card. But normally I would use Stampin' dimensionals. I'm going to line it up here. I'm going to take my greeting, put them right across the top, lean it up toward the end. I could come this direction. I'm not sure which do I prefer. I think I still prefer it coming off on the edge. I may have gone a little higher than I normally do. It's all right. I like it. We're going to give it a little pressure on the one end. Then I would have a greeting on the inside. It gives me the option to choose it later, though, and sometimes that's not all bad. Stick it on the inside. Let me thank you again for hanging on with me as we put this wonderful card together. Then I'm going to pull out my festive pearls and my take your pick tool. I like to use the sticky end on the bottom, or the end, the gripper part. And I have different options. I'm just going to use the silver. I thought the gray kind of dictated doing it silver. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to stick one up here. I like 3s or more, so odd numbers. And then like so. Now let me show you. I threw that on the wrong thing. Let me show you some of the different options of other cards I have made. So this one is my Christmas one we just made together. So in the same layout with the same stamp set, I have a fall one, lots of masking so that I could have my truck be in front of all of my trees without having something else. I made masks. Different time we will show another option with some masking. It was one of the very first techniques I shared with customers. This one with a beach theme. I did a little bit of blending with a small blending brush, and I did some omitting so that I could have the sending you sunny thoughts stacked on top of each other versus all along in a straight line. Then I did one with special delivery with using the little buckets that go in the back of the truck. I did some Stampin' blends to color instead of using the two-step. The same thing was with the blue truck in the beach. Did one using the Sending You Sunny Thoughts in the long, skinny. I think I actually had done the thicker die and cut it down. Then the sunflowers to kind of get a different look. You notice I'm using different papers. Then I thought this one was so much fun. I thought that the little gift boxes that you could put in the back of the truck, if you left off the bow, could look like moving boxes. And then using the little fence that goes so nicely on the back to kind of keep things in, made a great little moving truck. And I thought, enjoy every day as a fresh start. Again, kind of a moving. So I may use that for someone who's moved and say thanks and welcome. So those are all the different ones I've done using the Trucking Along fun stamp set. But then I did a few others. This is with the Goosebumps. Same layout. You notice the same layout, but cut down a little bit, fits onto here. This one with the Cheerful Daisies. And then this is a stamp set that's coming in the mini catalog that's coming out in September. And just the same layout though, just kind of fun. So thanks again for joining me. Hope to be a whole lot more consistent. And thanks again. Until next time, bye.